Alright, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what it do. We got the one, the only, the best of the West. We got Bluminati, the Don, right here, right now on the line. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, Outlaw Radio, man. What's up? How y'all doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey man, you are most certainly welcome, man. I gotta say, man, I've been tapping in, listening to your music, man. You are a phenomenal individual, man, and people need to realize, man, that you are actually next up on the West Coast, man. You are most definitely gonna rise up.
Yeah, hell yeah. You feel me? Thank you for tapping in, too, man. I appreciate it, you know. I'm most definitely going to keep that vibe on the West going.
Hey man, I want to say, man, way down here on the East Coast, we're hearing you, man, and we're hearing you loud and clear.
Oh, that's much appreciated. I rock with the East Coast.
But I gotta ask you there, Bloom, like, what made you decide to get into the music industry initially?
Initially, I wanted to get into the music industry because I heard Eazy-E, DJ Quick, you know what I'm saying, Ghetto Boys, Ice Cube. At that point in my life, I was like, man, this is what I want to do. These dudes is telling terrific tales of urban life, you know what I'm saying, stuff we go through. I was like, at a young age, I felt like I had a story to tell.
Hey man, most definitely. That storytelling to me is what really defines hip hop music, man. You know, nowadays you don't really get that storytelling within the music, man. You really have to go to the underground scene to really get those stories nowadays.
Yes, sir, you do. You do. You have to tap in. It's a few artists out of my area that, you know, they bringing it back to storytelling, like Doggy Style, IBS, Gutter Soul, you know. Artists like that, they back in with the storytelling, not as much as just the, you know, what I got, how many women I didn't, you know what I'm saying, had sex with, and so forth and so on. We most definitely gonna keep it going.
Oh, I most definitely agree, man. And one thing I was wondering as well, man, because like, you have a really creative name, man. Your stage name is very creative, and I have to ask you, man, how did you get the name Bluminati the Don?
Well, you know what I'm saying, prior to my incarceration, I was sitting back, you know what I'm saying, just thinking within myself. A long while ago in the game, I was with Death Row, I was with Make It Happen Entertainment, and my stage name was Top Notch. So when I went to prison and came home, you know, it was a few people that already had the name, so I couldn't use that, so I just thought about what I was laid up in the cell thinking about, Bluminati the Don. An enigma to the game, a mystery to the game, yet I hold all the secrets to the game.
And, you know, that's my next question on my list, man. You, as we already know, like you just mentioned, you were a part of Death Row, man. I have to ask you, how did you get connected with Death Row? And, of course, man, what was it like working under Suge Knight? Because I've heard some good stories, but as you already know, I've most definitely heard my fair share of bad stories as well.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people say that. But when I was there, it wasn't no bad vibes with Suge. And at my like tenure during the course of Death Row, it was when Corrupt and Gas had split. So I got involved through Big U. Big U from the 60s got me involved with Death Row through Corrupt. So we had met Corrupt, and he put us aside. He put us on what? The Gestapo Unique Death Row Records. So we was just like the underdogs in the camp, you know. At that time, J.T.on was over there too, a.k.a. The Game. He was over there. Spider Loaf was over there. It was a cool little vibe at first, you know, and everybody started leaving. Crooked Eye, shout out to Crooked Eye, he was there. You know what I'm saying? Lil John, not Lil John, but what's his name? P.D. Pablo had came. You know, P.D. Pablo had came and signed, and then everything went haywire from there.
And, you know, I gotta ask this personally, man, because this is one personal question that I wanted to ask you, because I'm a huge Death Row Records fan, man. I love all the music. I mean, my personal opinion, any record that came from Death Row Records turned into pure platinum and gold, man. I have to ask you, what was one of your most fondest memories as being signed to one of the most prestigious West Coast labels of all time?
One of my most fondest memories right here, this is after Tupac had passed away, right? After Tupac was murdered. You know, they kept it like a shrine of a chair that he sat in the Pentagon. It was like a chair that only Tupac had sat in. So my first day in the Pentagon, inside the studio, I just walked in and I sat in that chair. And Corrupt asked me, he said, hey, man, he said, what made you just walk in and sit in that chair? I was like, I don't know. Something told me to come sit right here. He said the last person to sit in that chair was Tupac, man.
Man, that's crazy, dude. Like, did anybody get all, like, upset at you? Because, like, after all, it was like a shrine, right? Did anybody get all, like, pissy and was like, yo, man, you sitting in Pac's chair? Or were they kind of just like, wow, you got balls or something?
No, I was just like, damn, man, like, what made you walk right in and sit right there, and everybody else was, like, on this side? I was like, I don't know. It was just a vibe I felt. I walked in and sat down. It wasn't like it was no immediate, like, what the fuck is you doing? You know, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, hey, man, Pac was the last person to sit right there, man.
Hey, man, the last two words of your name, man, the Don. So, you know, maybe that came from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Machiavelli the Don, Bluminati the Don. You know?
And also, man, speaking of, like, more prestigious West Coast stuff, man, you also done work with C-Night of the Dove Shack, man. I have to ask you, how did you get connected with C-Night and the rest of the Dove Shack?
Oh, yeah, shout out to C-Night, Dove Shack, Go Rock, Two Scoop, SG, Young Dove Shack, man, my team, my squad, my brothers. C-Night is an individual who, he came to the clubs I performed at, you know, and it was a hard little bumpy road because, you know, at first they like, yeah, all right, whatever, yeah, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you have to put yourself out there and make people gain interest of you. So that's what I kept doing, and it went from MC8 to Chill to, you know, C-Night was like, man, come rock with the Dove Shack. You're an official member of the Dove Shack, Big Nuts Records. So that's where it's staying right now, and that's where I'm at.
Hey, man, and I also got to say, man, you know what I mean? The Dove Shack are phenomenal individuals. I've had the opportunity to welcome all three of them, and including the young Dove Shack, both of the brothers, actually on the station, man. And they're all five of those dudes are phenomenal people, man. Very nice, cool to chop it up with, man. So you know what? I could just imagine, you know, being able to be in a room and working with them, man. Just the magic that those individuals do within the booth, man, must be phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, and the booth, man, is magic. Like, C-Night just dropped his project right now. And then, you know, got Long Beach song. So it's like being there to hear everything that's been put down, yeah, it's amazing. It's like, it's amazing to me.
And I have to ask as well, are you going to be a part of the new Dove Shack record? Because I remember when I was interviewing them, they're putting together a masterpiece. Sorry, is Bluminati the Don going to be making a debut actually on the new Dove Shack record?
Oh yeah, I'm making a debut on the Dove Shack record, and that's what I was saying. I'm also on the Cold Peak project, C-Night's new record. You know what I'm saying? Produced by Shane McClain. I'm all over that record, you know. So I'm here to stay.
And also, man, in 2019, you actually performed at the Orange County Cannabis Awards. Man, I have to ask you, what was it like being up there and actually just performing at that awards show, man? Because you already know it must have been very hazy from all that marijuana people be smoking.
Oh man, it was a good show. Shouts out to Sheldon, All Access Vegas for putting it on, for bringing the Cannabis Awards to Orange County. You know what I'm saying? That was the first right there. To be on the stage in the midst of it and perform, it was phenomenal for me because everybody was high, I was high. We enjoyed ourselves, we rocked out, and it was just, hey, it was a blessing. It was a blessing to stand on the stage and be able to look out at a crowd and give them some excitement.
And when we're still on the topic of concerts and whatnot, man, like I do know with COVID-19, a lot of stuff really is like, you know, kind of flip-flopping, you know, but do you guys have any shows currently like on the horizon that you want to promote and let our listeners know, or right now is COVID still taking over the whole show thing for you guys?
We actually trying to put together a tour right now, a Dove Shack tour that to be announced, but I think, you know what I'm saying, November we actually gonna put this tour on to Detroit, Atlanta, and Denver. So if there's any more sponsors that's willing to sponsor us, we can bring the tour wherever they want us to bring it to. But right now we got Spice One, Dove Shack, of course, and the Goody Mob.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm sitting back here as an old school hip hop fan, and I'm like, damn, why the hell do I gotta be on the East Coast in another country, man? Because like Spice One, the Dove Shack, the Goody Mob, that sounds like a
Yeah,
concert for the ages, man. So I gotta say, dude, I really do wish you guys nothing but prayers on the road, man. Safe travels, and most definitely just sell out shows after sell out shows, man.
appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate that for sure, for sure.
And man, I also noticed as well that you were actually featured on the Phantom Tapes compilation album. I have to ask you, how did that come to be for you, man? And what was it like actually taking part in the Phantom Tapes?
Oh yeah, for sure. Salute to Mad Dog B. JC the Phantom, man, that came together. We was at the club, vibing out and talking, and it was like, hey, let's put something together. Let's go to the lab, man. Let's create something. So we went up in there. We created something that went on the mixtape, and they said it's doing real well out there. So I'm thankful for that too.
And I have to ask you, is that like an annual thing, like where they do like different volumes, or is the Phantom Tapes just like a one shot, one take type deal?
I'm not for sure with the Phantom Tape, but I think it's an annual thing. We said. I can't be like quoted on that, but I think it is.
And I also noticed as well, man, that you did some work with the phenomenal Boss K. I have to ask you, how did you get connected with Boss K? And of course, man, do you guys have any future projects in the works?
Oh yeah, me and Boss K, we got a lot of projects in the works. That's my brothers from another mother, Make It Happen Entertainment, and the Bambino. We got a lot of little hits in the works. We trying to drop, but it's due to timing. So when the timing right, it's all on.
Most definitely, man. And I gotta say, Boss K is a phenomenal individual, man. I checked out some of his work, and I have to say, it's phenomenal, man. He most definitely is a kick-ass MC.
Hell yeah, salute. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And I also noticed as well, man, that you actually have some merchandise available. I have to ask you, what kind of merch do you have? And of course, where can our listeners snag some?
Oh well, the merch you can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You can get in touch with me. I have custom Bluminati Badon t-shirts, custom Nipsey shirts, custom Kobe shirts. Every piece of merchandise is custom. From the Tees by Bluminati line. You know.
And I have to ask you, man, as well, because like one song I notice is like a phenomenal song. It's one of your newest projects that I really like, man. It's called "I'm a Drug Dealer's Son," and I also noticed you got merchandise for that available as well. But I have to ask you, man, what's the story behind that phenomenal song?
Well, I didn't want to like really push like how everybody talk about drugs and how many keys they got and all this. I'm just saying I'm a drug dealer's son. You know what I'm saying? I got it pumping through my veins. I got it honest, inherited to me from my mama and from my daddy. You know what I'm saying? This was the life they led before having me and after having me. So this is the life I grew up in. I'm a drug dealer's son, like Pablo kids, like Griselda Blanco kids. You know what I'm saying? Like Escobar kids, like Carlos Lesnar kids. I'm a drug dealer's son. Tanika Wright. I'm just saying. It's a lot of us in this world. You know what I'm saying? Some with silent voices, some with loud. I'm just gonna be one of the loud ones to speak up.
And I gotta give you some mad props as well, man, because unfortunately, this day and age, people use a lot of hip hop, man. You know what I mean? To glorify that type of lifestyle, man. But with this song, you're taking a different twist with it, man. You're telling individuals that this really isn't the life to live. You're trying to put individuals up on some free game, man. So I gotta say, and not a lot of individuals do that anymore, man. You know what I mean? So I gotta say, thank you for trying to set our youth straight with this music.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Like I tell them though, like this song was, like my mama is actually on the song with me, and she like, I didn't mean to teach you that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to teach you that. So I'm telling everybody like, it's not what we taught in the streets, it's also what we taught in the home. You know what I'm saying? So you got to differentiate between the two.
And man, also directly after this interview, I'm gonna be playing another one of my favorite tracks by you. It's called "Rise from the Cell." I have to ask you, if you can, man, tell our listeners a bit more about that song and the story behind it. That way, when they listen to it, they can just wrap their head around the meaning just a little bit more.
Oh, you said to rise from the cell? Yeah. I basically, I don't know. I think I was just like in the zone, wanted to talk about something that meant something to me, and the way it came out was just extraordinary.
And I gotta say, man, it's an extraordinary song, man. Most definitely an amazing meaning behind that, man. So when I chose that, I was like, yo, man, my listeners need to hear this track.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I have to ask you there, Bluminati, what's next for you, man? Is there anything I happened to miss during this interview? Anything else you still want to promote? We still have you here live on the radio station?
Oh, well, what's going on with Bluminati is my album is going to be dropping right after the Cold Peace Project, joint venture. Well, y'all already know Dub Shack, Big Nuts, Non-Life Entertainment. And it's going to be the story of Bluminati. You know what I'm saying? I'm a drug dealer's son.
Most definitely, man. You know what? I gotta say, I'm looking forward to that project, man. By the sounds of it, it's gonna be a phenomenal one. You know, so most definitely, everybody that is listening, make sure you keep your eyes peeled for his project when it does drop. Support the real. Make sure you snag yourselves a copy for sure. But Bluminati, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves. Just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to. And of course, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything you're currently doing if they're not already doing so.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. First and foremost, y'all already know, shouts out to the Dub Shack, C-Night, Low Rock, 2 Scoop, ATM, my homie Big Mids, you know what I'm saying? Tiny Mids, you know, we got a mission. ATM in the house. Bluminati the Don on all platforms, from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, anything you can think of, Bluminati the Don.
Most definitely, Bluminati. I gotta say, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy evening and coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. Good luck on your tour, man. Hope everything goes smoothly. And of course, man, make sure you hit me up when your new record drops, because I most definitely will snag myself a copy.
For sure. Appreciate it, Outlaw Radio, man. Y'all, thank y'all, man, for having me.
You are most certainly welcome, man. Have yourself a wonderful night, and most definitely stay safe out there, out in the West Coast.
You too, sir. Thank you.